Guys, today we got our first look at the upcoming Black Cat 4s. The Patta Nike collaboration is way more limited than we thought, and these are just the worst sneaker trends on the planet. Welcome to the midweek re-up. Nothing to recap, so I mean nothing really happened since Sunday except for how cooked my face got. Yes, I'm sunburned. Let's hop into this upcoming stuff. Starting with, I guess this is kind of a recap, but the Patta Nike Air Max collection, they kind of are dropping today. So most likely when you see this video, you would have missed the release. Now, this is something that we did say was going to happen. I think I said it on Sunday, where obviously there's going to be a Nike sneakers drop, a global launch, and then there's also going to be a Patta exclusive drop with all of the clothing, obviously the sneakers. That is taking place June 18th. Now, June the 18th is kind of like an exclusive access type thing where it's just happening on Patta's app. It looks like they're going to have another release on June the 20th, which is literally 2 days away, and that's going to be at 1 p.m. CEST. That is this Friday. And that's just through their regular website, or they actually created a special one called pattaxnike.com. But the main release, the Nike sneakers app release, is still taking place on the 23rd. Now, we do have a little bit of an update on this one because apparently there is only 15,000 pairs worldwide. That is it. That has to make these things one of the most limited collaborations of the entire year. 15,000 is insane. So there you have it. That is pretty much everything you need to know going into this launch if you're after either one of these shoes. Don't forget that there is going to be another launch. There's 2 other colorways that is happening later on this year. Again, we spoke about it. It's like a black and a brown pair, but obviously we'll get more information on that pretty soon. Let me know if you're after these down in the comment section, but let's keep it moving. Couple New Balance updates. First one is a drop that's happening this month, June the 25th. The Absorb 2010 Pecan colorway is going to be releasing. 2010 model, I think, is great. It's like an affordable option to the super expensive, like made in the UK, made in the USA version. It has a lot of similarities to those sneakers, like even just looks wise. You got the premium materials on the upper with the suede overlays. This colorway, not my favorite. I'll show you one that is really compelling in a minute. I mean, this kind of looks a little bit more fall ready if you want to get prepared for the fall time. Now, these colors, which are sadly dropping all the way in fall, are my favorite. So the New Balance 2010 gets a black and cream makeover. Now, the black pair, yeah, I could do without that one, but this one is looking real clean. It's a nice mix of like light grays, some darker grays in there, sail mesh, sail midsole, and then just a little brown accent on the midsole right there. No specific release date in fall, just at some point October for $160, but let's keep it moving. This one's a little bit more summer ready. We got the New Balance 740 V2 Cyber Jade colorway, which I thought was pretty damn cool. This is a I don't know, what would this be, like Miami type colors? You got the pink, you got the Tiffany green with the black accents. If you want something a little bit, you know, to stand out, this is a phenomenal colorway. I really like these. Unfortunately, no specific release date, but these should be dropping very, very soon, considering we have like all of the official images, even some retailer images over here as well. So be on the lookout. They should be dropping this summer. Another New Balance summer release. We've got an ALD collaboration coming real soon. This is on the 860 V2 model. We've got a couple different colors, so you can see it's teased over here by ALD. You got this pink one, super loud punchy pink. There you go, that's the second color. So it's like mostly black, maybe some pink in there as well, but then a Volt green midsole. Both of these are going to be dropping very, very soon. Not entirely sure for the exact release date, but it might be a pre-order. I know that ALD does like to do that pretty often. These don't do it for me at all. I don't know, is people still into ALD collaborations like they used to be, or is it just a pass? Last one up for New Balance. This one is, it has me feeling a little bit weird inside because I don't know what to exactly think, but this is the first looks at the upcoming New Balance 204L. L this time doesn't stand for loafer, but it's just kind of like a low profile. It's almost like New Balance's take on, you know, the slim shoes, like the Puma Speedcat, the Adidas Samba, like that sporty low profile sneaker. And typically I'm not there for it. I'm not a big fan, but these kind of got me. I kind of like these. Now, maybe it's because they mix like some trail elements in there with like all of the overlay panels, which I really like, the extra trail laces. Even the outsole is pretty like, you know, aggressive with almost like, you know, spikes like a trail shoe would have. Quality looks great as well. This looks like a pair of shoes you could daily in the right colorway. No idea on the exact release date. I assume within the next few weeks to months. But let me know what you think about these. So as far as a slim shoe, do you like them or are they a pass? We just had a JJJJound collaboration with Asics. Asics, but we're getting another one. This is the JJJJound Asics Gel Quantum 360. These are guaranteed to be extremely expensive. This model, I think, just plain from Asics is already super expensive, so add JJJJound into the mix and it's just like, they're cooked. Either way, they did do some cool stuff on it. It kind of seems like they elevated this silhouette a little bit. If that's like the regular one, then this one definitely looks significantly different in terms of like the materials on the upper. It actually has some extra paneling. It's pretty plain though, as you would expect with JJJJound. They always bring something super minimal and plain to the table, and this collaboration is no exception. 26th of June, if you're into this. Something a little bit more affordable, which, I don't know, it's interesting. This one could be a hit or an absolute flop. We'll have to wait and see, but this is the Nike Ava Rover, and it seems like some people are really excited about it. They're $140, which, I mean, it seems pretty decent for a pair of everyday shoes. That this midsole is completely React X, which typically is pretty comfortable. Like they have that on the Pegasus 41. It's the new, you know, React cushioning. These kind of remind me of like those Element React shoes that we had back in the day. What was that, like 2018 or something? Those were really hyped for some reason. It was just a new Nike model, but they look super cool, and these remind me of that a lot. It's dropping this July, not this specific colorway. Like we don't have an exact release date, but a bunch of them are going to be dropping July at some point. Let me know what you think about these down in the comment section. Would you try them, or is it just a no? Gotta remind you guys, a release that's right around the corner, of course, the Air Jordan 5 Grape. This is the last time I'm gonna speak to you before the drop. They're happening on June the 21st. Good luck to everyone out there. I think there was even a little bit of an exclusive access. JD Sports, that's today, so hopefully you got in there. But yeah, the main, you know, global release, June 21st, Nike sneakers app, bunch of different retailers. Good luck, and I'll catch you guys on Sunday to see who managed to get a W. This is a big deal. The shoe's dropping. Another summer release. Lionel Messi is going to be teaming up with Adidas. Well, he has been for a minute now, but he's dropping Superstars this time, which are actually pretty cool. Like, I really like this sail colorway, but obviously they're doing a Miami pink version as well. Pretty straightforward. Like, Messi's, I mean, they're just using his name, obviously. It's not like he's into designing shoes to any extent. So it's just a regular Superstar with some of Messi's colors. You get his logo around the back. You also get, I believe, some logoing over here on the tongue, but that's about it. You know, it says Messi on the side. You know, aside from like the Messi collaboration, I just think this color is nice. Either way, summer 2025 and no exact release date. Let's keep it pushing. Nike managed to get a few suckers to pay $1,000 for a pair of Jordan 1s, so they're running that shit back and they're doing it again. This is another Swarovski Crystal Air Jordan 1 High collaboration. So this is going to be the vast gray color, and yes, it's another $1,000 pair. Just having a little peek at the lows, because that's the last one that they did. This one was covered in Swarovski crystals. They're reselling, actually, so I mean, maybe joke's on me. Maybe people really love the whole Swarovski crystal collab. Either way, this one seems like it's going to be a lot more toned down. Instead of crystals all over the upper, it's just going to be on the Nike swoosh. And if that's the case and they're still charging $1,000 for these things, then that is a ripoff. Not like, I mean, the first one wasn't a ripoff to begin with, but either way, December 2025, let me know if you would pick these things up. Maybe you're someone who picked up the other ones. Let me know down in the comments. This one's just weird, and I have no idea what's going on, but there's going to be another Air Max 95 OG bright mandarin colorway, but it's slightly different. It is so hard to tell. There is nothing about this pair of shoes that I would be like, oh yeah, that's different. Aside from two really tiny things, the tongue is a little bit taller, like it extends a little bit more. The bottom of the shoe, like the first one or the one that just dropped, had the little like PSI markings on the outsole, like over here. This one doesn't have it, but that is it. And that means they're doing an entirely new pair of shoes with those two little differences. I don't understand what they're doing. Why don't they just restock it or something like that? Why create this? It doesn't make any sense to me. Everything else is identical, and they're going to be dropping this full. So that means July to September at some point in between there. 190 retail. Couple Jordan 4 leaks and rumors to go over. First one is a pretty interesting one. We're getting a purple, or it's called Imperial Purple Jordan 4 next year for springtime, and this is a mock-up of what it's supposed to look like. Very Lakers themed, but this is based off of Imperial Purple multicolor color code. If that makes sense. This mock-up, I think, could be significantly different when we actually see the real thing, because again, it's just Imperial Purple. That's all we have to go off of. If they do come like this, I feel like some people are going to grab like markers sneakers and just, you know, black out the yellow, and then you just have a black and a purple pair of sneakers, which could be pretty dope. Either way, spring 2026, got plenty of time to talk about this one in the near future. If I get any updates, I'll let you guys know. Next, we got some first looks at the upcoming Black Cat 4s, or some better looks. So we know that these are going to be dropping relatively soon, November 28th, so Black Friday or around that time. $215 retail, we'll see. I feel like they're going to bump that up a bit. But here you go. This is the shot. So we can see that we've got a nubuck upper. I think the main difference that we're noticing is that this tongue is a little bit more gray maybe, or like a different shade, but everything else seems pretty much the same. Obviously, we've got the Nike Air branding around the back instead of the Jumpman that we saw last time. You got some shiny eye stays, which I think was on the original anyway, but these are the main shots. Then we got one other shot over here, and that's like the whole shoe, but again, this one's like a very terrible image, so it's very hard to see. These three shots looking good in my opinion. I think everything's we're pretty safe as of right now. I cannot wait to see the release of these. It's gonna be so interesting. Like, does the hype really sustain for another drop? Yeah, I mean, we don't have too much to go off of. It's gonna come in a full family size run, and it's also going to be an updated, I guess, shape. It's gonna be a little bit more like the Jordan 4 SBs, meaning it's gonna be a little bit updated and similar to the 1989 pair. We also just got our best looks yet at the Undefeated 4s. We've got an actual unboxing over here by Sniper Kicks. This is the box that you get. You get a little box of extra laces. You get a little postcard. These are all stuff that we've kind of seen before. I don't know if we've seen the postcard. Special paper, and then inside is one of the biggest releases of this entire year. Which pair does he have? Does he have the Jumpman version or the Nike version? He's got the Nike Air version. So this is the GR colorway, like the GR version. The Jumpman is the super limited one. This is going to be the one that most of us have have a slight opportunity to go and pick up. August 28th for these. That is the full unboxing. Let me know what you think of them down in the comment section. Must have for sure for most people. It's a big one. This one's so cool, I had to run it back because we actually got some still images of every Air Jordan 1 85 sample that Nike made, and is sat in their I think their Beaverton headquarters on display. So this is under speculation at the moment of whether this is going to be some kind of huge drop this full time, or whether they're just, you know, Nike decided to make a bunch of random samples of every single original Jordan 1 colorway. Seems unlikely. I think something has to happen later on this year. But here you go. We got the breads. All of these are like the updated 85, like what they did with the bread Jordan 1. We know that the breads are going to get another release later on this year as some kind of special 40th anniversary type thing. So will other shoes be included? I think so, but we'll have to wait and see. We've got the metallic pack over here. This is the orange one. We got the UNCs, similar to what we just had. So, you know, I feel like if these drop again, it's kind of like, well, I mean, do I really need to freaking pay for another one? Probably not, especially not for $250 if that's what it goes for. Then we've got the regular black toes, this time without the Air Jordan tag, so I think a lot of people would like that. We got the royal ones. Again, we've seen these because Chase B had them. Nike Jordan brand sent them over to him, so they're doing like PR stuff with these shoes. We got the shadows looking real good. We got the pandas. These we already had, so again, like some of these, we've had quite a few of them, to be honest. We've had the neutral grays, but we haven't had the Chicagos. God damn it, we need these. Well, I mean, do we? We've had so many Chicago drops. Another metallic. These are the purples, black metallics. We got the navies. This would be a pleasant release to have. I like this colorway. The maroons or the burgundies, orange or red. Yeah, this must be the red one. And then back to the breads. Whew. Man, I hope they do something fun later on this year with all of these Jordans. Some kind of crazy Jordan Day drop where it's just like, it's limited, but they just drop them all on one day through the Nike Sneakers app globally. That would be my preference, my dream, but we'll have to wait and see. Either way, let me know what you think of these down in the comment section, and which one would you like to see a release of. Sticking with Jordan 1s, we just got a little comparison, 2015 to 2025 shattered backboard Jordan 1s. I've seen some people say that they prefer the 2025s, which is interesting. Maybe you prefer the 2015s. Let me know down in the comment section, but here's a little side by side. The shape has been updated. The color is also different. I don't know, is it a little bit more saturated or lighter? It's hard to tell just by the images, but yeah, you can see over here, you got the shattered backboard insole looking real cool. Here's a little close-up shot. Let me know in the comments, which one do you prefer? You kind of, is that a bigger, yeah, it's a slightly bigger Nike swoosh. 2025 or 2015. Again, these are going to be dropping, I think, next month, July, August time at some point, but I'll remind you guys before we get there. Either way, let's keep it moving. Right, I think it's time to go over and just talk about these insane sneaker trends. I feel like the entire sneaker game is just going in a very strange direction recently. We're seeing some preposterous sneaker trends going around online and in person. Like, this is real trends that are some of the wildest, weirdest, and potentially worst out there. Starting with the first one, boots only summer. You know, we were going to talk about this one, so it's kind of been taken up a notch since we last spoke about it. I did make a video. Now it's being adopted by a lot of brands, a lot. So this is Adidas's version, which is going to be dropping, I think, next year. Essentially, this is a football boot or a soccer cleat if you're in America, with a clear little plastic sheath over the bottom to protect the actual studs, but they're in there, you can see them, and then you can actually wear them. Other than that, this is a pair of football shoes. Adidas dropped the F50 Taekwondo shoe, so another football shoe. You can get it a bunch of different colors, very slender, very slim. This one does have like the flat bottom, so it's not exactly cleats, but don't worry, there's more. Nike is also going to be doing, this is the Patta collaboration on the Cryo Shot. This also has the studs in that little case. We know that they're going to be doing more than just the Patta collaboration. Like, there's a GR colorway of the Cryo Shot exactly like this, where it's wearable, but it is literally like it's got the studs in there that you can see. I mean, we've got, like, you know, brands that are not going all in on the actual like cleat version. They're just doing indoor soccer or football shoes depending on where you're located, and this I think is fine. Like, if you want to wear indoor football shoes, like, that could be a little bit of a vibe. It's very similar to Sambas and all of those slim shoes, so I'm not mad at this. It's the cleat ones that are just crazy. Like those Adidas ones, those pink ones, like, that's literally what people are wearing now. Oh yeah, and then Louis Vuitton tried to make $1,120 versions. Like, get the hell out of here, bro. It's bad enough when you buy them for goddamn $200 or $150. Now, right after the cleats and stuff like that as one of the craziest trends, it's also the slim shoe trend. Now, this started, I believe, with like the Onitsuka Tiger, the Adidas Samba, which honestly, not too mad at. They're fine. I don't have any issues. I mean, it's not one that's personally for me, but the slender shoe trend is getting to a bit of a crazy point. And this is taken to extreme lengths with the Balenciaga Zero sneaker. This is something that I made a video on, and it's a real thing, and it's basically like the slimmest shoe you can get. Like, it is literally a Zero shoe. Incredibly uncomfortable, incredibly impractical, $500, but these are trends that are, they exist out there. And obviously Balenciaga is one of the first to jump on and just do their extreme version. Another crazy and terrible trend is the sneaker loafer. I think popularized by New Balance. This is something that we have been seeing for a while. They keep on selling out. This is their latest colorway that's coming up. And this one, I just don't understand. I love the idea, right? Comfortable but classy. I love the idea. The execution and the practicality, not so much there, because if you wear these things with pants, you kind of just look like you're wearing sneakers, and it doesn't really achieve that classy look. Maybe with shorts, if you have the entire outfit, yeah, cool, maybe, but you're only going to wear them for a short amount of time. It's not really that practical. Obviously, we got a bunch of brands jumping on, like Nike, the latest one to this trend. So Nike is going to be dropping this. I think they're calling this the Air Max Phenomena. It's basically just stealing what everybody else has done, the New Balance, the Hoka, all of them, and then just putting a little bit air unit, and now it's mine. This isn't bad though. I mean, it for like one of those sneaker loafers, at least they made it all over leather, so it's not like super sneakerish. Air Max is not that comfortable though. Like, the air underneath is going to be pretty rock solid. I don't know, this could be the best execution. Maybe these are dropping fall time if you're interested. But of course, we got brands like Hoka, which they never really, I don't think they ever really stuck. Do people like these? That one's just like a crazy one as well, but like that midsole, insane. And I don't know where this is going to go, but sneaker loafers, they get a thumbs down from me. And then last trend is an interesting one. It's just the crazy marketing trend, right? Where brands will just create a pair of shoes strictly just off of the shock value and the weirdness. So I think one of the most popular ones right now has to be Bravest, a brand that creates a lot of just wild random stuff like these, the toe slippers. They did the bear claw shoes where it's like a mule with fur and like actual metal bear claws. Most recently, they did the rock shoe. Like, these are not practical shoes. Like, you can't really walk around and be comfortable in it, but the shock value, I guess the virality of it, like social media, these things will go hard. They'll get a bunch bunch of views. And I like these for that, but it's a bit weird when brands try and do this in a practical way. Mischief, known for it as well. Obviously, they did the Astro Boy boots, not practical at all. They just did, what did they do? Like the reverse shoes, these, the backwards ones, like not practical, but it's fine. It's kind of like, you know, some of these brands need to exist. It's like art, it's interesting, it's cool to look at, but it's not something that you're going to wear on a regular basis. The problem is when regular brands come in and try this, like Nike releasing dirty sneakers for $130. This is the same thing where it's like they're going for the marketing, they're going for the virality, they're releasing a pair of scuffed up, dirty ass Air Force Ones and charging you at an extra premium for it. It's a little bit less impressive at this point, especially when this is kind of a trend that has been done so much. But there you have it. Those are some of the worst sneaker trends that I can just see increasing more and more right now. These are the latest ones. Let me know if I'm completely off the mark, if there's any of these sneaker trends that you think is solid. But that about wraps it up, guys. We do this every single Wednesday, every single Sunday. So if you want to stay up to date with all the latest news and everything, subscribe to the channel. And if you want to catch another video, I'll chuck one right over there.